One faithful has their eyes on banishing a traitor, but winning the shield has an unfortunate consequence. We finally got to see which faithful the 4 traitors picked for their first murder. Brittany, Noel, and Janae were their candidates, with Janae being the murdered faithful. Janae's competitiveness was seen as a weakness to their game, rather than a strength to winning money. Jackie seemed to be continuing where she left off the previous day, talking about Mark, but this time Whitney wasn't with her. Jackie seemed to be telling anyone that came within 5 feet of that couch about Mark and his notebook and being a D&D games master. Jackie revealed how she's also been a D&D games master, so knows about game strategy. I think that revelation will come back to bite Jackie at some point later in the game. It's been noted that she's already annoyed one faithful, Kat, and Mike thinks Jackie needs to take a step back. The shield was in play for this mission. They could either stand by a statement they thought was true or stand by the shield. Within the first set of players, Terry and Utah went for the shield instead of standing by a statement. During the second batch, Ciale and Whitney went and stood by the shield, meaning there were 4 shield holders. Many of the other players weren't impressed that those 4 chose the shield instead of going for the money, raising suspicions that at least one of them is an actual traitor. Which they're right about, but will they guess the correct one? Whitney did the total opposite to the first episode when she put the money in the prize pot instead of taking the $5,000 for herself. So while in episode 1 she would have been seen as a team player, she just undid that by now looking suspicious, especially as this is now after the traitors were picked. The one statement that was very interesting to learn is true is that one player is hiding their first name. I didn't look into the player summaries that were in the media, so I don't know if anything was revealed there. It will be interesting to learn who it is and why. In some of my videos about season 1, I noticed that 3 times in a row the person that won the shield was banished the same day. While there were 4 winners of the shield, in this episode it happened again. One of those 4 was banished. Terry says that banishing a traitor in the first banishment is the key to his long-term game. For me, it's the key to a short-term game. If Jane gets banished and I was one of the traitors, I would eliminate him at the first opportunity. He doesn't have any other suspicions, and he's been very vocal about the only one he has. He's been so vocal that he could be unknowingly discussing it with a traitor, but also it might make him look suspicious. The other consideration is that another faithful will tell a traitor what Terry has been saying, and that was the case with a few minutes to go before the roundtable discussions. Ben has adopted an interesting tactic as part of his game plan, deciding that he is going to keep a traitor close to him, so he happened to tell Jane that Terry is bringing up her name and will vote for her. This helped Jane go on the defense, starting the roundtable discussion when it looked like Terry wanted to start. First she defended herself and then turned it around on him, bringing up his choice to take a shield instead of going for the money. Jane even lied about not drinking water after the traitor pick, and I have to say even I found her convincing despite the fact she was seen on camera doing so. A couple of things to mention about the roundtable. Mark was having a brilliant time at the banishment table, sitting with a big smile on his face, taking in the experience and him being one of the names mentioned. No surprise that the person who mentioned his name first was Jackie. This is why Jackie's vote seemed weird. After constantly passing Mark's name around for 2 days, she instead voted for Terry. As a faithful, I would be perplexed seeing her pull that move, and she would be on my suspicious list. Not sure it was the best idea for Brianna with her short-term memory to accuse Terry of saying something that she didn't hear him actually say, and she doesn't remember who actually told her. Making that accusation against someone who turns out to be faithful is not a good look. Mike did well to use this as his reason to vote for her, and I don't think it would take long for her to have more votes against her, especially if this happens again. I think Terry's accusation against Jane, while not defending himself as well as she had, played a part in some of the votes. Also, Jane seems to be very popular with some of the younger players, and I think a couple of them were easily played. Terry ended up with the most votes, with Mark in second, so that long-term plan was truly short. Brittany, Mark and Wiramu are candidates for murder. I would keep Mark in the game because he's highly suspected, though if the traitors really wanted to mess with the faithfuls, it would throw a spanner in the works if they actually eliminated Mark.